Our community. Visionary leader Tiffany, Sheree.
Hosted by the incomparable, call me Grayson. Ladies, this is your space for inspiration, empowerment, and real conversations with women who are redefining the game.
Well, welcome to another episode of SKST Radio, and you tune into Girl Talk, the Cammie Grayson Show. And this is a pre-Girl Talk season. So we had Tawana Golson last week, and this week, oh my gosh, we have the beautiful Tiffany in the house with us today.
Thank you.
Oh, Tiffany, thank you for being here. I'm so excited.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Blessing to be here.
Okay, so tell people who you are and what you do.
Well, hello, everyone. I am Tiffany Jenkins, better known as Tiff J from VA. I am a community organizer. I organize and coordinate events, usually in the creative side. We look for talent in every single person, and we create artistic avenues for expression. So that's
wow, that was a mouthful. Well, and at the end of the day, you are doing like a lot of cool community events.
Thank you. Yes, I've been blessed to be pulled into several events in my native Virginia Beach.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel very blessed to be at the helm of kind of like restructuring how creativity is expressed in the area.
I absolutely love it.
Thank you.
Absolutely love it. So, okay, so let's take it back. Okay, so you're originally from Virginia. Or not?
Kind of. So my parents are from Detroit, and I am here by way of military. And so when, I was in elementary school, my dad got stationed here, and, he faced some health challenges when he was in the military. And so he retired, and he gave us a choice. He said Detroit or Virginia Beach, and we chose Virginia Beach.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so I've been here for a whole 7 years, January. So I'm old now. I'm old.
You seasoned. You
There you go.
Well marinated.
Marinated. There you go. And so I'm really enjoying the area. I'm really enjoying the area on my oceanfront. But I mean, how was it growing up here? How was it always like this? It's a little intense now.
Honestly, it's been a huge transition. When I first got here, very open fields.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a whole lot to do, and it wasn't a lot of fun, just things for us to do. The oceanfront was usually the biggest draw here. Yeah. And as the years have progressed, I've seen a huge change. They're inviting people into the area by just, finally tapping into what's actually here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's allowed some really cool things to start happening. We've built domes. We, have been able to establish different parks.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Now it's sort of cool, but the more attractions you get, the more people we get, unfortunately.
We do. But I will say this, the influx of different diverse folks really make the 757 what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're very used to people coming in and out because we are a military town. And I think it has really defined, us characteristically, just because there is such a diverse, large group of people who bring what they've experienced outside of Virginia, and they bring those ideas here, and so people that are not necessarily from here, they bring those great ideas from these other places, and then they start to kind of dig roots here. So I think it's kind of cool that, we do have a culture that's kind of in and out. I think it's a positive for us. Just from being someone who was not necessarily from here, but was welcomed into this community. And so now when I leave, I'm like, this is not my home. I feel like Virginia is my home.
Yeah.
And I think people resonate with that. You know, some of the, you know, things that we've done in, you know, I was a part of a roller community out here. People would say all the time, like, I love this area. There's always something to do. And so welcoming and inviting for people that are not from here. So I think that has been such a major shift and why we've seen such a explosion of different, you know, things to do and attraction to this area.
So what brought me here was malls, right? And so malls are a part of the heritage and the traditions in different states and cities, right? And so being brought here for, I know in Virginia Beach that Lynn Haven is the mall, right? Yes. And it's still functioning, it's still fluctuating and everything. However, I was moved here for Military Circle. But now I understand Military Circle was the place to be. Ooh. So give me a little bit of that history.
Okay. So Military Circle was absolutely it. We had legends. Everybody, if you know, you know. They used to have local DJs in there every Friday.
Really?
Oh, it was incredible. You know, they would bring celebrities in, and it was just wrapped in our culture. You know, everywhere you went, you had, you know, local shops and, you know, people that were picking out designs and that were just more related to us. It was a huge thing, you know. We had a lot of fun Friday nights and Saturday nights, you know, in that mall, and we came together and conversed and got to know one another, and it was just a really good time. You know, back then, you know, you had arcades in the mall and all these other things that, you know, kind of kept us rooted in the mall. And I was a mall kid. I grew up in the mall.
Okay.
My mom,
I call them mall rats.
I was a mall rat. But I was really Lynn Haven because my mom worked in Lynn Haven.
Okay.
And so, you know, we were able to kind of roam the mall because we had a parent that worked in there. But yeah, you know, it was a staple for, you know, a lot of our safety and, you know, and I think that pushing the teenagers out of the mall drastically shifted the mall culture. And it really did. If you didn't understand how to cultivate that young crowd, you lost it.
Right.
And, you know, we were the kids. It was like shopping all week until our parents, you know, was like had a list of things that, you know, we saw in there and we wanted to purchase. And I think it leads people to, you know, like actually spending and, you know, like they diving into that economy. And I think they missed that opportunity. And once that happened, you know, it killed them all.
Yeah, it was over.
It did.
Well, so it's declining. And I do know that Amazon has a lot to do with that. But I do know that violent things happen too that kind of
that triggered those things.
I was about to say the exact same word.
And I'm glad you're talking about this because this kind of relates to what we're bringing to the oceanfront. So on March 21st, we have the Sweet Pea Whitaker Legacy Weekend. And that's exactly what this weekend is supposed to be speaking about, you know, healthy ways for us to be able to de-escalate, communicate, and within our community. And so we're going to be bringing out, you know, people to address domestic violence. We'll be, you know, having people out there to, you know, showcase creative outlets, healthy ways to release stress, whether that's boxing or, you know, painting or whatever.
Exactly.
You know, so we know that there's an issue. And really what the root cause in our eyes is lack of communication. And so that is something, you know, even with Sweet Pea Sons, we're working to develop. We've got, you know, a whole bunch of our local community leaders coming together and just trying to figure out how to navigate those challenges. And I think it's worth, you know, us taking that time to address that so that we can have a positive outcome. And I think that, you know, maybe had they put up sumo, like, you know, wrestling things, you know, found ways to kind of let some of that energy out. You know, there's always going to be people that don't necessarily get along with one another. But, as adults, I think it was more our responsibility to address it instead of shunning these kids out of the actual malls.
Right.
And so that
Right.
really just transitioned how, people just kind of push a problem away instead of like going to address it and making it a calling.
Right.
And I think even weekends like this and events like this really draw people in as to why you should just come see a boxing match.
Right.
Like
Right.
it's more than that. It's 100% resources for people to be able to really understand how to alleviate stress within the community. And so
And get involved.
And get involved.
The main thing, get involved. Yeah. So I'm excited that you guys are doing this. And the thing is, you can't be sitting on the bench and talking about the problem. You actually have to get out there, roll up your sleeves, and
make
work
something
with it.
happen.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
make it happen. And so, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with Miss Tiffany after these messages.
You're watching SKST Radio.
Yeah. Okay, if you just tuned in, you haven't tuned in too late. You tuned into the Cammie Grayson Show, and tonight is Girl Talk. We have a preview here with Miss Tiffany, and I'm so excited because she is so sweet, so humble. And so when I met her a few weeks ago, I was just like, "You got to be on my show." I'm stealing people's clients.
Steal me anytime.
And so, because it's just like what she has to bring, and I know y'all can probably see a picture of her behind us. She's working in the community. She's doing positive things, and y'all already know that's the sauce for Girl Talk. It's the sauce because it's powerful women doing things in the community, actually making it happen, and not sitting on the bench going, "Oh, well, they should have, could have, would have."
Right.
She's actually out there doing it in the community and making it happen. So I'm so excited for
Me
you.
too. Thank you. I've really been, a lot of people, when they see where you're at, they just make an assumption like, "Oh, she's just lucky." Honey, I've been doing this for 20 years.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of people have no idea like the progression. I started writing in the music industry, and just kind of matching up with other creatives. And, my husband has always, just been a talented musician, writer, producer. And I just was relentless with my belief in his abilities. And, I got to watch a lot of things.
Yeah.
Being 20 years here and watching and sitting at the back of a lot of different showcases. And I just realized that we could serve the artist far more than what we were.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of the girl who sees a problem and then tries to figure out how to fix it. And not necessarily overall fix, but just kind of a nudge towards something.
Exactly.
And I think that a lot of the industries that we're seeing, and I say this a lot, but they lack economy. And as creatives, I got tired of hearing broke artist.
Yeah. But isn't that not true? I mean, what can fix that?
You are labeled broke because a system is broken. And so if a system is broken, it can only produce broken, products. And so I see that there is a system that is broken. And so now there are products that are damaged.
Yeah.
And so the damaged products, we just decided, okay, well, they're not trash. It's actually someone's treasure. And so we decided to start polishing professionals in the area. What we realized is that a lot of people lack, and this is not children, because there are a lot more programs that are dedicated to children and dedicated to our seasoned community, because I'll never call them the O word. There are quite a few programs dedicated to that. But what I saw was there was a lacking of young adult mentorship. And even middle age mentorship. What do you do when you become 30 and all of the things that matter to you in your 20s don't matter?
Right. It's a whole different game.
There we go. And I think we have a transitional growth every 10 years. Who you are in your 20s. It's not who you are in your 30s. Who you are in your 30s is not
who you in your 40s.
There we go. It's a role, right? And you know, this brings me back to other issues in our, you know, because we lack grace. We lack the grace for people to have growth.
Right.
And so a lot of people count out young adults. And I started to see that if we provide avenues for them to release their abilities, whether that's you make rugs, whether that's,
right.
you know, you have, you know, rose water, whether there are things that you're talented in, that you just may not have had the community that supports that. Right. And I think sometimes that even happens in our families, you know, and, you know, as we grow and we're figuring out what we want to do. When I was in school, I called myself the Van Wilder of college. I couldn't change a major. If you don't know the Van Wilder movie, look it up. But I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do. And so my parents just begged me to graduate after a while. We just wanted
a career student here.
We just want a degree. Okay. I don't care if it's in, my mom used to say basket weaving. Okay. Just give me one. So I did end up giving them a degree. But what I realized when I was done was that I just love to learn. And I never had a path to that, you know. And when I was in school, my teacher, you know, my professors used to say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I'd say, the CEO of me.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, they hated it. I love that. You love it. But it was never an answer that set well with my professors. Right. Because I always knew.
It was too generic for them.
I guess, you know, they needed a actual, you know, an answer.
But they were conditioned. They were conditioned that you to think that way. So for someone to think outside the box, that threw them for a loop.
Oh man. It was a very challenging. And it's so crazy because I go back to the story, and when we did Neon Festival last year, and every show that we do is consistently from somewhere else. Like, so I could be looking in Germany. I'm not the kind of event curator that is looking to do what is around me. So we took a concept from Brooklyn, which was a rolling art gallery that I saw in Brooklyn, and it was in an indoor skating ring. And they had a rolling art gallery, and I just thought, oh, it's so cool. And then I seen a rolling fashion show in LA.
Wow.
And I was like, can I bring this to Virginia? So when I got granted to be a producer last October for Neon Festival for the 10th annual, I was like, I got to bring this idea here. And when we did, you know, it just shocked and wowed people. We were like, oh, I thought I would see something like this in New York or Paris or wherever. And that's what I do this for.
Wow. Now, it's the Neon Festival in Norfolk, or?
Yes.
Okay, now I remember it. Yeah, I remember it.
Yes.
Isn't it Virginia Beach? I thought it was in Norfolk.
So Virginia Beach is Vibe, and we were a part of that as well.
Okay.
We brought with Karma Skate. Shout out to Karma Skate. We brought a skate rink out there for Vibe Festival, and it was like a 70s theme kind of skate party. And then when we did Neon, Karma Skate was a part of that as well. And I was like, you've got to let me use your floor for a rolling fashion show. So we were able to just bring that to life. And that's exactly the same trajectory we're on. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be in skates, but I think that we can utilize these different outlets.
But the tradition of it too, you know, getting it started. Now people are looking forward for it next year. I had so much fun. I want to do it again, you know, so you don't want to kill it too fast either.
Well, here, you will not get that again next year. but I am in the works. I do have a skate production that I wrote in my garage. I kind of just trap myself in my garage, and then I come up with proposals and, just try to figure out what's the next thing. We've had some incredible events planned this year. I'm praying that I'm able to get the whole thing out, because once I got out there and I start pitching them, people started saying yes.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
I was so floored by how many people said yes, because I just did a bunch because I thought, well, something will drop. You never think you'll get almost a yes for everything that you pitch.
That's amazing. That means that was a great pitch.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So I feel blessed that not only in the city of Virginia Beach, because we got so much love in Norfolk, and I talk to people in different cities every day that want to bring this type of community work to their cities, because it's really just about people being able to get along and have a good time together, and that's really what it boils down to. And a lot of my models and a lot of the musicians and all these people, they're just regular people that are extremely talented out here. And, I'm less focused on what's outside of Virginia and more focused about what's happening here and how we can highlight the talent that exists here. I have nothing against artists that have made it. They work their butts off a lot of times to get where they're at.
Right.
But I have a strong sense of commitment to making sure that people here are seen. Because when all these people leave,
who's left?
Who's left? Like, who do you come see?
Yeah, I got you. So okay, so now moving forward though, so what will artists receive? What type of service or I don't even know how to word it.
Yeah, because it's really an active service.
Okay.
For my fashion shows, I don't charge, right? So, a lot of the designers are charged to be in these shows. I stop that. Open mics, we make sure that there are, an array of different areas where you can go out and practice. I would sit in a lot of the upper rooms and I'd talk to people, and they really had like a, if you don't work for it kind of attitude. And I was just thinking, well, you have to practice to be a professional.
Right.
And I thought, well, I'll give them opportunities to practice. And then what we saw was we were creating professionals.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So the things you're doing, like I said, in the community is very much Shebro-ish. Very much Shebro-ish. I make up my words. You can Google it.
That's all right. I like that. I'm gonna put that in my dictionary. I do.
And so instead of mentor, it's femtor.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
So
I gotta tell somebody about that. We got a women's history thing coming up. I might have a section for you on that one. I'm gonna call my homegirl Roberta Lee. Do you hear this lady?
So that works for us, right?
Yes.
It helps us help one another. And so I'm very excited with your role and your position and what you're doing. And I want to be connected. I want to know what's going on. We're on social. Yes. And so I'll be following you and pushing whatever you need me to push.
Thank you.
You're for you. And I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I mean, I couldn't really get what, we're doing out if it wasn't for platforms like yours and people understanding that this is the time now. Yes. You want to back what Virginia does, back the local talent here.
Yeah.
That's what I want you to do. I don't care if they paint. I don't care if they, whittle wood. Like, get behind them.
Right.
Because they really deserve to be seen.
Well, now I do have something for you though. We are, we have San Antonio. We have a guy in San Antonio. And we have a guy in Oklahoma. So a part of our sister company is called Beats by Bro.
Okay.
And so if you ever run into artists that need beats, music, lyrics,
I love that.
We are that resource as well.
I love that because your theme song, Clock It.
Thank
it's
you.
So good. I was like,
I wrote that, by the way.
Together and right. I was loving that. I was watching, I think, an interview of yours before, and the young man you were interviewing, he had like a keyboard. He was feeling that thing.
Yeah.
I was cracking up. Girl, I'll be watching your show.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And so I was like, I feel that, just as someone who's written out here, someone who's been a part of music. Yes.
Yeah. So we have a plethora of resources here, like when you're doing your events, if you need, we do on-site podcasting, our Street Grind Entertainment.
Yes.
And then we also do a lot of, graphic design and things like that. So, we're the one-stop shop.
Ooh.
So if you need us, just reach out because we could use the business.
I'm not even, no, we're all bringing this in.
So we're here for you, just to let you know those resources, because I know a lot of people think podcasts, that's all they do. We do a whole bunch. People just don't have a clue of all the things that
I
we
love
do.
it. So. Well, I do want to plug a couple of my events that are coming up. So I've kind of kept these under wraps. So you're probably like the first public platform.
We're the first to hear it right here. SKST, right? First to hear it.
So I have an annual cannabis fashion show that is an advocacy show. It's in its 5th year, and we will be at S5 in Portsmouth, April 18th, 7 to 9.
Okay.
You'll see an array of local talent, designers, models, musicians, everything.
Okay.
And so that'll be at S5 on April 18th, that Saturday.
Okay.
Then we also have a second show with the Highly Creative this year.
Okay.
And that will be on Stumpy Lake Golf Course. We will be partnering with Armentia to bring our show there. And it is also going to be for Suicide Awareness Month.
Nice.
For Veteran Suicide Awareness Month. In September 3rd. So we'll be there.
Okay.
For Stumpy Lake Golf Course. I'm super excited. I've already got a sponsor for that for the clothing. And then we also are planning a cosplay athletic day.
Nice.
Yes.
You're speaking my language.
Yeah. So Sports Center, Virginia Beach. And I'm not gonna announce the date on it yet, because I want to just make sure that everything is good. But that will be in October.
Okay.
And so our goal is to bring cosplay, LARPing, all kind of different live action play to the Sports Center. And it's not your typical like Comic-Con type of thing. Right. It's very much a community activity day.
I love
it. You get to dress up and be like Shiro,
Yeah, I love it. Yeah. That's my fun. I'm telling you, speaking my language.
Oh, I love it. And I've got, we're gonna have tons of vendors out there. I've got a girl who does anime bonnets. Shout out to Believe It or Not. She's so cool. And people like her really just inspired me. Because she goes to a lot of like Comic-Con type events and everything. And I don't know if y'all know, I'm a fan of the Big Bang Theory show. And I watch it a lot. And I got to see it, and I was like, people that are athletic really know about the Sports Center, but people who aren't necessarily athletic may not know. Yeah. And so what can I create to bring them in? And what I noticed is they were, gaming. They used to go to Comic-Cons, but then they used to play paintball. And I was like, wait a minute. They are athletic. Yeah. So I started thinking, how can I combine people that have a love of video games and, that are probably in alternate worlds more than the most, but how do we get them out and moving? Yeah. And I was like, okay, well, this is probably going to be it. And so I did a couple pitches for the Sports Center in Virginia Beach. Nice. And they were with my shenanigans.
I was like, that's great. Yeah, such a great attitude. I love it. So who could turn you down, right?
Oh.
I mean, I know they can, but I'm glad they're not. How about that?
I was gonna say, I don't want to think about it. No. Stress me out.
So no.
No.
So they're doing the right thing.
Thank you.
So So tell people how they can get in contact with you.
Well, you all can follow me on Tiff J from VA on Instagram. And because I'm never hiding who I am, you can find me on Tiffany Sheree Jenkins on Facebook. And yeah, like I don't know. It's so many different things. Jenkins brand is my brand. A lot of people, recognize me from Work Hard, Play Harder. That's another brand that we help create in the community. And we also help co-found Roll Bounce Rollout. And so, people are like, hey, you're from such a... I don't know what you're going to say.
Local celeb. Yeah, doing what she does. So.
But yeah, I'm no longer with either one of those brands, but I do 100% support everything that they're doing. And I really want to see, the brands that we help to build, shine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Why would you help to build something you want to see, fall? Right. But I just think that, after a while, you just, maybe I say this all the time. Am I crazy? Like, do I be thinking like, get off the ledge, that type of thing? Because, my husband, he'll say to me sometimes, and I'll be like, I really believe I can fly. I'm not going to jump off of this because I'm seasoned. But I mean, I have moments like that. And I think sometimes, when you're in a group, they're like, bring that back a little bit. Yeah. But I've had such an audacious kind of feeling about, we really can demand that we're treated a certain way. We really can show up in rooms that you think that we wouldn't be welcome in.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I think that because I probably pushed that envelope so much, that, I was like, I can't be dragging people into my shenanigans all the time. So I really just kind of focused on what I felt like was my passion for the community. I think that when you focus on other people's passions, sometimes you forget about your own.
You get lost. Yeah, you get lost in someone else's.
And I think this is it for me, being creative and making sure that my community has positive outlets. I want my kids to, they can live here. They don't have to, but I don't want them to feel like they have to leave.
Right. Not welcome.
Yeah. And not just that, but that because there's no true industry for them to really foster their true abilities.
That's true.
I don't want them to have to run to LA or New York or Atlanta. I think that that's a very unfair thing for them. And so it's my, job to make this place more comfortable for my kids and my grandkids. Yeah. And so that's the goal. Like, I want to pass it over.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense.
Thank you.
Well, you know what? So you are an official Girl Talk Shero.
Thank you. I love it.
So, it's from Cammie's collection.
So pretty.
Thank you.
You always got to have a queen on your chest.
So whenever you doing laundry or whatever, you just go on Cammie's collection.
Oh, honey, I'm gonna be an 80-20 juice bar with this one. You know what this bar is in the streets, right?
Okay, guys. Tiffany, thank you so much for being on the show. I had so much fun. We want to invite you back. Most definitely invite you back. And so, guys, until next week, well, actually, the official Girl Talk starts in March. But like I said, I had a few sheros that I wanted to get like before March. So this is one of them. And Tawana Golson was the other one. So I can count them on my hands. So I know who I want. And so anyway, thank you guys for participating, being a part of SKST. Please go share, like, subscribe, talk about SKST, repost, let people know that we are here for the community. And we're here to try to make it happen for you. So until next time, bye for now.
Bye.
An SKST Radio Network production. Powered by SKST Radio Network and SGA Entertainment. Tommy G got you.